Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Making Profit, coming to you from a little gym at the Hilton over here in Tampa. Last day of my little mini vacation that I had with my mom. If you saw the last video I posted, I was actually on the Royal Caribbean cruise, and Amazon paid for our vacation. Took us to Cozumel, Mexico. We spent 4 nights on the cruise, had a bunch of great food, enjoyed ourselves. I mean, it was phenomenal. And I want to make another video as sort of like an extension to the last video. And what I want to talk about in this video is the fact that whether you're brand new to starting Amazon, or just, maybe you're learning how to scan books, or maybe you're learning how to send out your first shipment, like you're really new. Whether you're in that place versus maybe you're at the place where you're doing 5 or 10K a month and you want to take it to the next level. Maybe you want to go from part-time to full-time. You want to take your sales from 10K a month to 20, 30, 40, 50K. You have to understand that a lot of people, they're going to doubt you. And while I love the Amazon community, and I never would have, been able to build my business to over $700,000 a year in sales, I never would have been able to pay myself almost $130,000 this year from 175K in profit. Like, I never would have been able to get there if I didn't meet like really incredible people in the community. Like, you'll meet somebody that changes the game for you in terms of sourcing. You'll meet somebody who can help you to improve the game for you in terms of like prep center. Like, if I didn't have friends and like a really supportive network, in my like eBay to Amazon community, I never would have taken that plunge from prepping all my items to, working with Little Owl Prep. But the point I want to make is you have to understand there's a lot of nasty, negative naysayers in this Amazon community. And you're going to hear people who say things that have some truth to it, right? But if you play into that truth and all you do is listen to the negativity, you're not going to get anywhere. And I always give this example, and it's not the greatest example, but I'll say it like this. Like, are you going to stop going to the grocery store because you have a chance of another car hitting you when you're driving? Like, what's separating another vehicle that's thousands of pounds? Like, what's stopping that vehicle from smashing you other than a yellow line that separates you guys on the side of the road, like in the middle of the road? You have to have faith, right? And there's a chance, and I hate to say it, and this is really bad because I've gotten into a nasty car accident a few years ago. This is one of the reasons why I started, eBay to Amazon flipping, is I didn't want to drive all over town. But like, the point is, are you going to stop going to the grocery store because you have a chance of a car hitting you? No. You're going to go, but you're going to take precautions. You're going to wear your seatbelt. You're not going to be texting when you're driving. You're going to keep your head on the swivel. And I'm running out of breath here. I'm on 15 incline right now. You're going to keep your eye out. You're not going to assume that when there's a green light that people aren't going to fly through the intersection. You're going to take precautions. And the same applies with Amazon. If I listen to all the negative people about Section 3s and IP complaints, and you're going to get kicked off and Amazon hates you and the fees keep going up, even though there's truth to it. Like, there's more Section 3s going around than ever. Brands are taking advantage of sellers with IP complaints. It's riskier now to thrift and do E to A and A to A and these different methods compared to back in the day, right? There's a chance you buy a bunch of quantity of items and Amazon gates you and restricts you. But you have to understand, if you just play into all the negativity, you're never going to grow your business. If I listen to all the toxic, negative people in the Amazon community, and I know it's easy to kind of ignore the amazing people who are positive and who support you. But the problem is, many times, more often than not, that's less than 10% of the community. 90% of the community are just trying to justify why they're not taking action, why they're not getting results. And they like to play the blame game. They blame Amazon. They blame their sources. They blame the prices. They blame the Goodwill CEO, right? And they point fingers at everybody besides themselves because maybe they're not willing to put in that work. Maybe they're not willing to sacrifice not making money for the first 3 to 6 months. Hate to break it to some of you clowns out there. It's a nice way to say it. But if running a business was so easy, everybody would do it. Now, anybody could start a business, but you'll notice that out of every 5 or 10 friends of yours who start a business, in a year from now, 80% of them are gone. In 2 years from now, 90% of them are gone. Why? Because it's challenging. The way we make money in business is solving problems, being disciplined, going through the hard times and sticking with it. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. You're not always going to be able to pay yourself. It's not always going to be mega profitable. There's not always going to be a ton of inventory at the thrift store. You might have issues with your prep center. You might have returns. You might have a product gated. Hey, you might get a suspension or a section 3. But if you're running a pizza shop or maybe you own an insurance company, whatever, it could be a million different things, or a bakery, whatever. You're telling me those businesses aren't going to have massive problems. You're telling me, name a business that exists in the world that doesn't have 1, 2, 3 different things that could happen that are catastrophic, right? I mean, look during COVID-19 and all that, all the businesses that got shut down by the government. And I'm not here to talk politics, what's right or wrong. You can make that decision for yourself. But look at all the businesses that went under, that catastrophic black swan event. And the same applies on Amazon. This is the point I'm trying to make. A lot of you guys out there are just playing into all the negativity and making it look like Amazon's a huge nightmare. If I would have played into that mindset and accepted, and I hate to say brokies, but there's a lot of brokies who live in their parents' basement, or people who quit on themselves that like to take that failure that they experienced because they gave up, but didn't have what it takes, and throw it at everybody else. If I would have listened to that, I would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars poorer. It's not the best way to say it, but like, if I listened to what they said 10 years ago, I never would have went on all these amazing thrift trips with my mom that were profitable. I never would have traveled the whole country. I never would have been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, just in the last 3 years, I probably put almost $250,000 in my pocket from selling on Amazon. And that's not even thrifting. That's literally buying items from eBay, having them shipped to my house for the first 3 years. I did that, prepping them, putting them in the box, shipping them to Amazon. Now I don't even touch the products. I don't even buy them anymore either. I have virtual assistants who log into Replen Catcher, put in a simple filter, aggregate all the different categories that we want to source, find DVDs, books, electronics that are making 40, 50, 60% ROI. We buy it. We ship it to our prep center in Ohio. Frank at Lil Prep receives it, puts it in a box, ships it. I get paid, rinse and repeat. I mean, yes, there's a lot that goes into it. It requires capital. It requires risk. You've got to be able to take the risk and bite the bullet. If you're thrifting or doing ETA, what if Amazon hits you with a section 3? Well, you have options. You could, create your own invoices, which I don't recommend doing. You can get retail receipts that are vague. Use those. I'm not telling anybody to do that. You could have a good lawyer on retainer if you do get a section 3, so you're prepared. What's his name? Jeff Schick. I don't know if he still offers his service, but it was like $90 a month. And you could have him on retainer. And if you do get a section 3 or an IP, it's pretty much free. Like, he'll take care of it. But a lot of people don't want to do that, right? They don't want to look at ways outside the box. They don't want to set up and be prepared and have to pay money, to be able to save their ass if something goes wrong, right? A lot of people don't want to take the extra time to read a Keepa chart to see if the brand is on the listing. They don't want to look for sharp declines in the Keepa chart. They want to sell the most popular Nike items or products that are flying off the shelves 200-300 times a month versus going after the items that sell 1 to 10 times, which is what I sell. I sell items that are less popular, under the radar. You're not having brands attacking you. They're less risky, less likely of getting a counterfeit. And the fact is, a lot of people think if you get a counterfeit complaint or an IP complaint, you're instantly banned. Maybe if you're new, but if you're doing enough volume and your Amazon health rating is high enough, 250, 300, your account could take multiple counterfeit hits. I mean, in the last 3 years, I've probably gotten like 10. Never got suspended, never gotten kicked off. Not saying I won't ever, but you got to do enough volume. Hey, if you're a new seller, probably not the smartest thing to do to start with eBay to Amazon. Start thrifting, start going to library sales, build up your volume, get Amazon to trust you, right? And the more you sell, you'll start to win the buy box. You'll start to get ungated. But it's a process. Amazon, it's lucrative. It's very, very profitable. But don't buy into the bullshit that it happens overnight, that it's easy, that after 3 months, you're just going to build this up to a full-time income. It's possible. But nowadays with Amazon, it's harder because you've got to get ungated. You've got to start winning the buy box. You've got to gain their trust. If you scale your sales too quickly and you don't have good invoices, you could risk getting section 3. So that's why it's best to start thrifting, start slow, build your sales from 1,000 a month to 3 to 5 to 10. If you can have good invoices in the beginning, absolutely do it. But I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. That's where a lot of you guys get this wrong when you watch my videos. You're like, this guy's telling me what to do. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm only sharing what I do in my business, right? And maybe in a couple of years from now, I'll be doing something different. But right now, I buy items from eBay. I source them with Replen Catcher. They go to my prep center, they sell after they get shipped to Amazon FBA. I rinse and repeat and I replenish my inventory. It's very simple. But I think a lot of people who watch these videos, they don't connect to that because they don't want to hear that it's hard work. They don't want to hear that it might take 6 to 12 months to pay yourself. They don't want to hear you're going to get restricted and gated and not win the buy box out of the bat. They don't want to hear Amazon's going to hold your money in the beginning because they don't trust you. They don't want to hear there's a chance of getting a Section 3, of getting kicked off. And then you tell them, hey, well, there's a safe way to do it. Go do wholesale. They don't want to hear that you have to spend 20, 30, 40 grand. They don't want to hear you have to get employees or warehouse. I know there's ways around it. They don't want to hear that you have to trust a third-party logistic company. They don't want to hear that your margins are going to go from 50 to 100% thrifting and 40 to 80% with eBay to Amazon down to 5, 10, 12% with wholesale. They want all the benefits of no risk, good invoices, and they want to make 40, 50, 60, 70% ROI. Yeah, ain't going to happen. A lot of people want to make a lot of money on Amazon, have their own business, but they don't want any risk. They want sunshines. They want people to literally blow a dream up their ass that they're going to make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars overnight. You get somebody telling you the truth, they don't want to hear it. You're a scammer. But seriously, I think I proved it this last week, taking my 70-year-old mom on a cruise paid for with my Amazon profits, having the freedom to sail the open sea, like to literally have a business pay for this trip with my mom. I've been doing this for years. It just proves and I've been, taking a really good salary with this business as well, but it just proves there's a lot of potential, but it takes hard work. I've been doing this for years. So don't play into the negativity if you want to be successful. If you want to quit and give up and be a loser, like a lot of these people who you'll see in the YouTube comments, people who talk out their ass with no experience, or maybe they have something bad happen and they project that towards everybody. Listen to them. You'll be in the same position as them, jumping from opportunity, from this to that, to the next thing, never getting results because of this and that and this and that. It's never my fault. It's always everybody else. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get back to this workout. 15 incline, getting after it, down over 44 pounds in the last year. Consistency. But people don't want to hear that. Give me the pill. Give me the Ozempic. Give me the testosterone. Right? Sell me the $1 million dream, Steve. I want to make $1 million on Amazon in 3 months. Sell me that course. Sell me that $2,000 course, Steve. Teach me how to be a millionaire in 10 minutes. Not, you're a fraud. Much love.